Stefan Fry. Maximusinov is in a
ceremonial first puck between Mike Richards and Sidney Crosby. It was in mid-July that the first two sets of skates on this ice were Mario Lemieux and that man, Sidney Crosby.
And they stepped on it exactly the same time. They made sure they entered the ice surface from either side of the Penguins' home bench, waited, stepped on together, and had a twirl. Here's the other big story tonight.
Sergei Bobrovsky is 22 years of age, a rookie goalie for the Flyers, youngest to ever start in an opening game for that franchise. What do you think this is like for him right now?
Pulse quickening and game. But you know what? Goaltending is the easiest change to make because the goal doesn't play. He earned this start with his play in training camp, and he was one focused individual. 5 o'clock this afternoon. I think Flyer fans are hoping he didn't stare a hole in that glove that he should have utilized here tonight.
Well, he gets to see Malkin and Crosby for the very first shift. They'll be out there with Chris Kunitz, Zbynek McCulloch, and Brooks Orpik on defense. And Marc-Andre Fleury, who has won 17 of his last 22 games against the Flyers, is at the other end. He'll be facing Dan Carcillo, Jeff Carter, Mike Richards at the start with Matt Carl and Andre Mazzaro. We want you to hear and watch the opening face-off without comment. Sidney Crosby is after the first puck. Who will get the first hit, let alone the first goal? It is Philadelphia, so we must ask who will have the first fight. As it's thrown in front across the net mount wide by Chris Kunitz. Chipped back along, and the first hit seems to be coming from Mike Richards on Zbynek McCulloch. And ahead they come, and Jeff Carter's shot is deflected up out of play.
There's your first puck into the stands as a souvenir. Tonight's Craftsman tools for success are keys to the game. For Pittsburgh, this is the ultimate home ice advantage. Opening up this building. For Philadelphia, they're going to need those stabilizing saves from the young rookie in the pipes. And I think the best third line tonight is going to tip the balance in this one. And on paper, you'd certainly give that advantage to start off to the Philadelphia Flyers, just looking at what Claude Giroux and company did in the playoffs last year.
So you're thinking the first two will cancel?
Exactly.
A save by Marc-Andre Fleury. Goligoski throws it back down, and it will go down for an icing, presuming that Kimmo Timonen gets there, which in fact he does.
Peter Laviolette took over the team mid-season last year and prodded them to within a couple of victories of the Cup. He gets them from training camp this year, and you can tell from our conversation with him this morning, every coach loves to have his group right from training camp on, and better chance to embed his system, although it looked as though he had it firmly in place throughout the postseason in the spring.
Well, the kid earned the start, so Peter gives him the start, and maybe sometimes it's the devil you know that doesn't cause you the frustration as the devil you don't. The devil you don't being Bobrovsky. Kind of like a first-time pitcher that the hitters have never seen before, as that one struck the outside of the iron from Tyler Kennedy.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknown, Doc. There's no question about that.
Chipped along in front, and it skittered off the stick of Oskar Bartulis, who has enhanced value on this team now because he knows Russian.
And communicate with the youngster in the pipes.
Dropped on now for Scott Hartnell, who has roughed up a bit for his trouble across the way. And it is Derek Engelland doing that. Meanwhile, twisted back along by Engelland, and he's able to nudge it back out, and the Penguins are in the midst of a change, and the Flyers are too, and hustling back now is Claude Giroux. Drew one across, and it's dug out by Tyler Kennedy, and he's able to bring it on back and lob it in. So 100 seconds have been played in this wonderful facility. In the preseason, Mike Comrie got the first goal. He is number 19, and he had a try there, and a rebound went off the pipe. Another try, and that one slipped wide off Comrie's stick. Fired back around for Giroux, and the crowd at that end of the ice is still standing just now, settling back into their feet.
That was a quick change by Dan Bylsma to get this line out there against Giroux's line, and immediately they went on the attack.
The newest Penguin is Eric Tangradi, number 26. Raised near Philadelphia and a former member of the Flyers youth hockey team. And he is a power forward who likes to hit.
Big boy, simple game, played very well, earned his position.
26 in glass. So aided by iron and one stop, Bobrovsky has kept the scoreboard clean through the first 2.5 minutes. And we allowed you to hear the opening face-off. You'll hear the crowd a lot during the evening, and the Flyers and Penguins are proud to present this game. Move a seal of 3. Here is Richards around behind.
Are you sure?
I hope. A bouncer is thrown in front, and that's dug out, and Carter spun one that went off Marc-Andre Fleury.
Flyers getting a lot of pucks to the net. Fleury looks sharp. He's another one of the cornerstone guys that needs a bit of a bounce back this season for the Penguins.
Penguins are without Jordan Staal. Aaron Asham is not able to play tonight. That one is stopped and then covered by Bobrovsky, and play halted.
I watched him in warm-up a little bit, and he looks like a goaltender that really tracks the puck well after the initial shot on goal. Here's a little wraparound attempt by Comrie. He closes everything down. Good look from in behind. He's got great agility and quickness, and you watch his head and you watch his eyes, and he's a little fortunate he's got some help in front of him too. But it's a big key to net mining, not just making the first save, but following where it goes.
That scorcher was high and wide from McCollum. Tested behind. Taken by Crosby. Crosby led it on back. Here's Orpik shooting one, and that one went wide. Pinching McCulloch. Tipped away from him by Hartnell. Tipped across by Briere, and then slugged on further. Anything about the structure of the arena, the boards and the corners, that we should know about?
Well, they're pretty sharp, and I think a lot of they're called cross-corner dumps in that end up back out in the slot area. Another home ice advantage once the Penguins really get used to it. And they're bouncy, much more bouncy than they were across the street. I don't think the Penguins know all about them yet.
Takes a while to learn. It's spun by Billy Leno, and that one knifed on back to him. Leno able to lay it on back. Matt Carl across. One-time shot is stopped in front. Now for the outlet by Kunitz, and nudged out of the way was Pascal Dupuis by Carl. Right back ahead for Billy Leno, who crosses. Drops it on back for the carry-on by Carl. Dealt it around to the side. Nice little fresh move by Fleury to flex it away.
Was it ever? That was setting up to be dangerous. They had a defenseman activate off that offensive attack.
This is Kennedy. Kennedy watched tightly by Carl. Kennedy sweeps. He's got a man set up. Taken back along with Paul Martin. Dragging through some traffic. Fans wanted a penalty. Laid on back to the point once more and walked on across for Chris Letang to play it off of Kennedy. Paul Martin came over from New Jersey as a free agent. He's signed for 5 years. Letang drops it on. Matt Cook is up with it. Pugnacious winger dropped it back deeper. Knife back along the half boards, and Kennedy slipped it around behind. Trouble comes there for Mark Letestu, but then on back it comes to Martin again. Dan Bilesma loves this puck possession time in the defensive zone, as that one is knocked away by the defense of Bartulis. No Chris Pronger tonight. He is sidelined, and Michael Layton still out of the goal crease because of lower back strain. Off of Engelland. Followed up, and a shot is blocked ahead by Fleury from the stick of Nikolai Zherdev. 1 year, a 28-goal scorer with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Here is Malkin turning with this one. Virtually non-stop play with over 5.5 minutes gone. Fed across, and Malkin couldn't handle the pass. Circles to the outside, clipped it on back. Goligoski, a shot that went off a pair of skates. And Grady walled there by Coburn, taking it along as Hartnell. Outlets it and gets it back again. And offside is called. Premiering Tuesday at 10:30, Versus brings you an all-new sports talk show featuring two of the most talkative and talked about NFL stars, Chad Ochocinco and Terrell Owens. The T. Ocho Show. You think you've seen it all? You ain't seen nothing yet. Premiering Tuesday, 10:30 on Versus.
Penguins coach Dan Bilesma, smart guy, tech savvy, but when we asked what new coaching tool in the new building he has the most affinity for, he said an air horn. The new gigs are kind of big, kind of spread out, so he uses it to call meetings.
The locker room and training facility is over 100 yards long. And they have a training track in it that's 25 yards long. Today's Pizza Hut favorite matchup, Mike Richards, Sidney Crosby.
Two captains, the two center icemen, two leaders on this match up in Pennsylvania, and there's some serious dislike already at ice level, and they started the game off for us head-to-head.
Taken on by Kunitz. Carried on further by Dupuis, and wide of the netminder, who is showing no jitters really right now. Maybe it's just getting into the game. Here's Dupuis with a shot that went wide. Bobrovsky, just 22 years of age and 17 days. Bernie Parent was 22 when he first started a regular season game. So was Ron Hextall. So was Dominic Roussel. Here's Carcillo, jousted out of the way by Dupuis.
Well, a good save by Fleury to get out and cut the ice that time from Richards in front and handle that tip attempt right in front relatively easily. The referees are really allowing these two teams to get themselves back into the swing of things here in game number 1.
Why do I sense a smile in your voice? Francois Saint Laurent, Stephen Walcom are the referees. Derek Amell and Steve Miller are the linesmen assigned by the NHL tonight. And a 4-year deal has been worked out with the officials. Here is Hartnell dropping it back in. Labor stability.
They draw a lot of criticism, but most of it's unfounded. They do a phenomenal job in the fastest game on earth.
Marcus Vinterberg has been added to the staff this year from Sweden. And so a European official makes a first appearance into the NHL wearing the stripes of this league.
They're going to ease him in a little bit, according to Terry Gregson, the director of officiating. They want him to do some games in the American Hockey League first, get used to the physical nature of the North American game, and then ease him into the National Hockey League. But a great move by the league.
And icing is called. The American Hockey League in its 75th year this year. The NHL in year number 93. The 44th year for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and these are the changes we mentioned. Martin and Comrie and McCulloch. Aaron Asham is unable to play tonight. And Gonchar, Ponikarovsky, Leopold, Fedotenko, and Guerin have gone. Bill Guerin had a tryout with the Flyers. Fedotenko has signed with the New York Rangers. Here's Letang flipping it along. Collared there and guided back in by Blair Betts. One of the unheralded keys to the run that the Flyers made toward the 6th game of the Stanley Cup final last year. A marvelous defensive job, and you always know you're going to get key face-off wins from him.
Right. Every coach would love to have a guy like him coming out of the 4-hole and to kill penalties. He's one of the best penalty killers in the league.
Blocked off now and sent back on to Kennedy again. He's had the puck a lot tonight. Given on now for Cook. Matt Cook, a backhander. It's guided aside by Bobrovsky. And slugged back down as the heat is taken off by the Flyers. They ice the puck. Flyers are 44 years old as well entering tonight. What about the changes that they made? They retooled some defensive guys there, because you have Gerdeff and Sean O'Donnell, Andre Mazzaros, Bobrovsky, the goaltender, and Jody Shelley, the tough guy. Gagne, Asham, Parent, and Emery are gone.
Right, they got deeper on their defense core. They really had to overplay their top 4, and Chris Pronger in particular. And their 3rd and 4th line right wingers are a little different, and obviously in goal.
Oh, Malkin with a drive that was artfully saved by Bobrovsky.
He's building belief.
Here's another shot directed on goal. Rebound on, another remarkable save on the man near the front of the net that time, and that is the guy who takes it right now, Mike Comrie. And Comrie sees this one flip back in wide of Fleury in the cage, and another icing, but he has weathered some pressure now.
Setting a new record for early season icings here tonight. There's been a tad bit of panic at times with the puck, and you've seen some turnovers and you've seen some icings. Look at this guy in the pipes, though. He's the same age as Semyon Varlamov of the Washington Capitals, and the two of them were sort of neck and neck as teenagers with their national teams in Russia. And you can see some similarities in the way that they play. They got a secret weapon, it appears, in this kid in the pipes. He's been phenomenal early.
Time out here. Tonight's Buffalo Wild Wing player profile is on Mike Comrie of Pittsburgh.
He's going to be, I think, by the end of the season, the best bargain in the National Hockey League. He signed a contract for the minimum to come here and play with this talent-laden club. He played very well, actually, in Edmonton with the Oilers last year. Played through a bout with mono. His uncle Fred was drafted by Pittsburgh back in the early 70s. So he comes from a hockey family.
And as Danny Gallivan would say, you noticed a matrimonial note there at the bottom of the page.
Yes. Yes, he got married in the summer. One of the high-profile hockey player weddings of the off-season. And my daughters know her as Lizzie McGuire.
Red Berenson, his college coach, is going for win number 700 on Saturday at Yost Arena against Mercyhurst. 700 is sort of the plateau of great success, legendary success in coaching college hockey, and he has won away from it. Good luck to him. Although we can't play favorites, we like Mercyhurst too. Working with us now is Gerdev, yes?
Red Berenson has turned out not just great hockey players, but really good people out of that program, year after year, decade after decade.
The tie-up behind. Gerdev trying to pull it free. No luck there. Brooks Orpik out of Boston College, former coach, will be inducted into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame later this month. Jerry York pulled away now and thrown to the back for a shot. Oh, and a great stop. Rebound. Oh, another one. My goodness, did he ever make a play on Giroux?
Giroux had to spin completely around, had a gaping net, but couldn't find it.
2-on-1. Here's Dupuis to Crosby, and that one blocked aside.
He's something, isn't he? Bobrovsky has certainly settled into this game. He's made 3 or 4 saves of the difficult variety. His latest there.
Here's Crosby. Oh, and another one deflected up out of play. Pretty good action here. 9:31 to go first period. Thanks to him, no score.
Now Scotiabank customers can win NHL tickets weekly at ScotiaHockeyClub.com.
Hey, free tickets. Register at ScotiaHockeyClub.com. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
Now Scotiabank customers can win NHL tickets weekly at ScotiaHockeyClub.com.
Hey, free tickets. Register at ScotiaHockeyClub.com. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
Rated T for Teen.
Rock is back in the must-have video game for fall. Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. Buy now. Get the new Soundgarden album free while supplies last.
There's a burger out there to make you dream of meat and bouncing pickles down on Melty Street. Grill burger. A quarter pound of beef is how we start making it. Shove it in your mouth right after we bacon it. Grill burger. Did I just use bacon as a verb? Maybe.
The new DQ Bacon Cheese Grill Burger, just $3.29 for a limited time. And finish off with the new DQ Mini Blizzard.
We speak innovation. We also speak hybrid. In fact, we speak hybrid so well, we say over 1,200 kilometers on a single tank in the city. That's 4.6 liters per 100 kilometers, making Fusion the most fuel-efficient, best-selling midsize sedan in Canada. We speak the Ford Fusion Hybrid. This is Ford. Today, drive one.
What do you have, kid?
I saw your sign up front.
You want a job? I was thinking of someone a little older.
I can clean dishes or
Kid,
mop.
shouldn't you be playing hockey or something?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
There are moments in sports that define us, that are part of who we are. Can you believe it? These moments are inspiring, everlasting. We live for the unpredictable, the unexpected. Come alive with the drama, the excitement.
That's the best shot we've seen all day.
These moments are played out here. The biggest events in sports live here. TSN.
Welcome back to the
the Consol Energy Center. We are scoreless in the first, and I'm standing outside the Captain Morgan Club here, just one of the few private clubs around the new barn. And I got to tell you, in walking around, I got the best job here tonight. I get to check out the new digs, and no matter where you are, you have a great sight line. The visibility is unbelievable. Open concourses, there are 800 HD TVs, so definitely not a bad seat in the house, you guys. And there will be over 150 events taking place here, so a lot to look forward to for the folks in Pittsburgh.
Indeed, a hotel is being built next door, and they are hoping to get it open before the Winter Classic on January the 1st. That's good for business,
there you
right?
go. So you start well.
Grady sent it along now for Malkin. Hit high and hard, but he bounces off that. Cruises and feeds one back for a shot. Oh, and it's held by Bobrovsky.
He just looks like he's been in this league for a couple of years, and he's excited to play the first game of the season, not the first of his career. Again, I can't get over how well he tracks his head. Watch his head. Follow it through the traffic, get a beat on it, wait for that. Good look from in behind. Watch his head. Peek at the pass, follow out, telescope a little bit, absorb it, no rebound. They might have a #1 in this guy.
The last guy to wear number 35 was a goaltender named Jeremy Duchesne. Wayne Stevenson wore that at one time, a long time ago. These are the design of the jerseys that the Flyers wore as their home jerseys back when they first came into the league. So this is a throwback sort of look that they have this year. Penguins have gone with the black ones tonight, the powdered blues other times. Chipped off the outside of the goal, taken along by Danny Briere. Under 9 minutes to go first period. Guys, we're glad to have you here tonight. The shots are 10-7 in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins, but what a thrilling night and a terrific matchup. And later on tonight, it's Chicago and Colorado, the Stanley Cup champs, and Joel Quenneville's 1,000th game. Pitched along by Fleury. Max Talbot took care of his man. Lobbed back ahead now by Adams. Slung back across. A shot by Gologowski is shrugged away by Bobrovsky. Taken along by Adams and handed back. Gologowski gave it across. Letang a shot, and that one just booted away by the defense. Adams again in a backhander, and that one popped up high.
That's twice Rupp, the big winger for the Penguins. Number 17 went right to the front of the net. Tried to obscure the vision of the rookie netminder.
Leno moving ahead. He's got Kimmo Timonen with him, but looks as though the Flyers are in the midst of a change of lines. Play broken down and thrown back in again by Paul Martin. More of a test, and we're going to get the first penalty. Bobrovsky has been perfect. Has faced 10, gotten them all, some of them artfully in a scoreless first period.
What do you have, kid?
I saw your sign up front.
You want a job? I was thinking of someone a little older.
I can clean dishes or
Kid,
mop.
shouldn't you be playing hockey or something?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna make you yeah. I love your phone.
With the BlackBerry Torch 9800 from Bell. Wireless wave. Love the phone.
My customer, Mr. Jones, didn't want to drive with this chip. He was afraid his windshield would crack. He booked his appointment with us directly at speedyglass.ca. You indicate the work to be done, then choose a day, time, and location. Nothing's more convenient. Plus, his windshield's back to being solid for free, thanks to his glass coverage insurance. Thanks, Dave. No problem. Like Mr. Jones, act now and book online at speedyglass.ca.
Oh, you are a little biscuit. I'm Carol. We should skedaddle because it's girls' night. So, okay. Oh, wow. You got a skinny dipping scene after the duel, right?
Well,
Shh. Show. Don't tell.
Your favorite movies right when you want them.
Just a little. Okay. Oh, wow.
Watch unlimited movies and TV episodes instantly through your game console or other devices. All for only $8 a month from Netflix.
This could turn me into a history buff.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car, official partner of the NHL. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
More hockey than you can shake a stick at. Catch every game and 24/7 Hockey Talk exclusively on XM.
In sports, live here. TSN.
It is Matt Cook for a hold. 12:09 the elapsed time, power play Flyers.
So he'll be the first detained here in the new building, and there was a subtle little one in behind the net. Disbelief from the player as always. And a power play that was second only to the Washington Capitals in the regular season last year as far as the number of power play goals they scored gets to work.
Third best in the league. You may have been hearing a lot of cheering and wonder why, because Matt Cook's in the box. They were saluting the public address announcer here for decades, John Barbaro, who passed away this summer. His family is here tonight. There was a standing ovation. It was quite touching. They treasure their people in Pittsburgh, whether they're public address announcers, radio or television guys. And John was a legend too.
But for the fan, it's the soundtrack to their event. Right? They get used to hearing that. They feel like it's a family member, and they saluted him duly.
As Flyer fans will for Lou Nolan all the time, because he's their guy. Puck taken to the outside, handed on back now to Timonen. Drive, and that one knocked down in front, kicked back across, and Brooks Orpik outlets, and Sidney Crosby carries for the Penguins shorthanded. Crosby a shot, and he got the glass with it. 30 seconds gone on the Flyers' power play. Penalty killing wise, the Penguins were 9th best last year. The one sore point to them is don't talk about our defensive average. They were 20 in a league of 30 teams. Pitched back along by Timonen. Tools there with Talbot and prevailed. Danny Briere laid one back, and Richards must take at center. Nearly halfway through the kill as Richards moves right back. Tried to float one through. No luck there. Good work by Craig Adams. Nudges it on to Talbot. And Talbot turning at center and just dragging some more time off the clock. Down to the ice, Billy Leno, one of the playoff heroes last year for the Flyers. Tied a record set by Dino Ciccarelli, who's going into the Hall of Fame next month for playoff points by a rookie. And with that Hartnell and Briere line again tonight, as he was last year in the playoffs. To the last 35 seconds, Talbot was run off. Puck dug out by Gerdeff and handed on across to Matt Carl, but at center. The penalty killing clinic right now. They've been able to use lots of personnel because they're keeping it out of their own zone. Fresh legs out there and no room for Philadelphia. A kneeling block by Paul Martin, and it skittered right in on Fleury, who also made a block, and this one is dumped back down, and Bobrovsky seems to be good on the long ones. Here it's carried around in front. Mike Rupp couldn't get a shot away. Good defensive play by the Flyers in front, and turning with it now is Gerdeff. 2 seconds and 1, and Cook is out of the box. Brought ahead, the drag move by Gerdeff, trying to sell the defense on that. Engelland wasn't buying. Around it comes now for Malkin. Malkin slips it ahead. One-handed back in by Cook. Cook jostles there with Braden Coburn, and they tangle. Sent along by Comrie, and a rising shot by Malkin, and looking around was Bobrovsky, but it didn't find its way home. He had lost where that puck was. Another feed in front. Oh, and a save on Comrie by Bobrovsky, and a beautiful pass from Malkin. They still can't get out with it. It's Comrie around behind again. Comrie drops it off. Malkin to the outside. Trying to fight his way through the defense. It is Malkin reversing. Taken out of the play by Sean O'Donnell, and it's Gerdeff connecting with Van Riemsdyk, and Van Riemsdyk floating one back down. I feel like you need a bib at times watching this when the teams are trying to come out of their own zone. Sloppy. Bill Patrick is very succinct.
All right, Doc, thank you. It's a game break. They are whooping it up in Toronto right now. The Leafs on the board first against Montreal. Tim Brent, the tip-in past Carey Price. 1-0 Toronto. Doc?
Print the playoff tickets. 4:59 to go first period. 11 shots to 8 in favor of the Penguins here. Now let's see if the Penguins, having killed off that penalty, can keep the offense going that they had. They had the Flyers tied up in the defensive end of the ice a lot.
They were using about a 60-40 ratio of attacking to defending. We had a good talk with Dan Bielsma about what he talks about, wants. He looks to football. Says it's that time of possession thing in football, and his equation to hockey is a 70-30 split. 70% of the time on the attack, 30% of the time defending. You win when you do that.
Tire out the other team for one thing.
Oh, yeah, wear them down. The defense feels like here they come again with a wave. Spend no time in your own zone. The only guy that gets out of rhythm a little bit is your netminder. And Fleury's been able to plug the hole whenever they've broken down so far in this one.
Under 4 1/4 to go first period. We have no score in this game. Sidney Crosby drops it back across. Kennedy a drive. Save Bobrovsky. Rebound. Knifed right back to the corner. Kennedy back to play it there and tangles with Dan Carcillo. Here's Crosby feeding one, and that careened on back. Boy, at times you can almost smell a goal coming, but Bobrovsky has done a wonderful job in shutting it off.
He has, and they've been close, though, on some of these other broken plays or misplays or turnovers about 3 or 4 times and gotten away with it.
Tangradi tried to the side of the net. Big number 26 goes around behind again and has this one. Eric Tangradi. 15 people have made the trip across from eastern Pennsylvania to watch their kids play here in the West. Loaded back on, and this one Mike Richards tries to clear out. Nicely pulled right back by Tangradi again, and he keeps the pressure on. Fed one across, and a shot. Oh, and that one was blocked just wide.
That's exactly what they want out of the kid. Win pucks along the boards, make simple plays, smart plays. Almost picked up his first assist there.
Mikhailuk gave it over. It's a beat across. Held there, and a shot is blocked down. Another try went off a Flyers skate at the front of the net. Mikhailuk up with it there. Deals it back around. The fans are anticipating something here. Down to the ice, Letestu. A penalty coming up to the Flyers. And so a power play for Pittsburgh here with 2:52 to go in period number 1. They're standing in a scoreless game.
It's the perfect name. Escape.
Let's go.
Anywhere.
The Ford Escape.
8-inch ground clearance. Intelligent 4-wheel drive.
Infotainment.
Every safety feature available in the Escape.
Standard.
It's fun to drive.
Comes in a V6,
4-cylinder, or hybrid.
One of the most fuel-efficient SUVs on the planet.
My buddy.
I drive one.
I drive one.
I drive one.
The 2011 Escape. Mrs. Ford, today, drive one.
Hey Canada, I feel great. I've lost 28 pounds with Herbal Magic and I've kept it off. And my good friend Gord has had great results too.
I've lost 35 pounds and kept it off for 5 years. Herbal Magic works and it lasts.
And we're not alone. Men and women across Canada are getting incredible results.
As you get older and your metabolism slows down, essentially your weight sneaks up on you.
I didn't know who I was. I was just surviving life. I wasn't living life.
I'd always gravitate towards the back of the room because of my self-consciousness.
I was 42 years old. I looked in the mirror and I didn't like what I saw there.
I feel like I've won my whole life back.
And thanks to Herbal Magic, I lost 100 pounds. I feel confident and beautiful. I feel excited for life.
I decided I wanted to go to Herbal Magic. It just seemed the right thing to do. It fit into my lifestyle, it fit into my lunch hour, it fit into everything.
And lost the weight, I'm back to myself again.
Herbal Magic is not a diet. Diets are short-term solutions for short-term results.
I owe a lot to Herbal Magic. Not only did I find myself as the manager of a radio station, I met the woman of my dreams, who I'm now happily married to, and I became a jock again.
It's more like, look at me, look at Tammy, look what I've done, and I feel good about myself. I bought a new wardrobe, I get up there, I speak in front of people, and it's fantastic. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
So there you have it. Call Herbal Magic. Take it from us. It's the best phone call you could ever make.
And Herbal Magic will be that last weight loss program you ever tried, because it works and it lasts. We guarantee it. So make that call and find out why.
Herbal Magic personalized weight loss programs are based on grocery store food.
personal coaching, and natural health products. So why wait? It's fall savings at Herbal Magic. For a limited time, you get 9 weeks for only $99. That's 9 weeks for $99. Look great, feel great, lose weight. Results guaranteed. Call now. Start losing weight today.
TSN.ca. The coverage, the experts, the analysis. Stay on top of everything in the world of sports with video on demand, breaking news coverage, the latest highlights, and live events. With our team of reporters, experts, and insiders, TSN.ca is your choice for in-depth analysis. No matter what your sport, we have it covered. TSN.ca, Canada's sports leader online.
Well, we've got an interesting power play set up here because Dan Bilesma wouldn't tell us who his net front person would be now that Bill Guerin's not here. Malkin gave it on a cross. The pass was directed toward Comrie. Tipped back out again, and it's going to be a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Darryl Powell brings it in and fires, and it's saved by Fleury, and then he put it back into play and gave it away, but it careened across so that it can be played back by the Penguins and they can settle things down. Goligoski shook it back. Malkin up with it there. Laid it on back across. Drive by Crosby. Ricochet back off Braden Coburn to him. 2:20 to go. First period. Goligoski a shot, and that rattled off the netminder and wide.
Well, Kunitz is your net front guy. That's pretty obvious. That's him in 14.
Fans talking up. Malkin across. Goligoski with it there. Sets up Malkin again. Crosby opposite side. Last year it was the other side it seemed like we'd see him on. Malkin gives this across. Goligoski up with it there. Then Crosby drive, and that ricocheted back off Coburn. Crosby shot 60 more times on goal last year than the year before. Much more confident in his shot because he's worked on it. Fleury out. Long pass ahead as the Flyers are changing. Malkin gained the zone. Able to slip the puck by, though he was hit pretty hard by Mike Richards, and the bouncer is down on Fleury.
Yeah, he got left exposed just trying to take that over the line and continue that set. Richards had a target on him and finished.
Paul Martin brings it ahead. Martin trying to work his way by, able to take the bouncer, ridden off toward the corner, but then it flipped along by Mike Rupp and handed on back to Chris Letang. Letang tried to drop it on. Martin came up with it there. Here's Martin shooting one that's blocked wide. Matt Cook turned it along. Richards rammed into Martin. Meanwhile, the puck taken along and another shot knifed down. Battling for it is Cook, and he knifed one on goal that was stopped by Bobrovsky, and the rebound sent along to where you see it being played by Claude Giroux. Thrown to the front, outlet pass. Mike Richards moving up ice. Short-handed, fires, and he got the glass with the shot.
I don't know if he's going to have enough energy to get back to the Flyer bench now. He was way late in that penalty kill when he got the breakaway, or partial breakaway. That's why he shot it.
Full strength action in the final 42 of the period. Pretty good hit there. McCulloch trying to play it further. Brooks Orpik with it, trying to get away from Hartnell, and the pass careened back out for Adams to take. The Harvard guy throws it back in, and Coburn flipped it along. Touched back across, and the Flyers can start ahead, though it is knifed away on a very strong reach that time by Adams. Now at center falling, a Penguin defenseman, no harm, but a big drive by Hartnell, and it caught a man offside in the last 15.4 seconds.
Well, one area the Penguins wanted to upgrade a little bit was their ability to move pucks out of their own zone. Their defense core has been overhauled a little bit. Paul Martin's one of those guys who's so cerebral with the puck and without it defending. And I got to watch McCulloch a lot in the Western Conference, and from the very day that he stepped into the league, he played straight up against top lines all night long. He's got better skill as an outlet passer than most people give him credit for, but they got two really good ones here now in Pittsburgh.
Right back for one more try. Sheerdef with it, but the horn sounds to end the first period. 24 shots total.
Like a miracle that this thing's 0-0.
Some strong play by the net-minding Bernard Marcel Perrant Bobrovsky. Was splendid in goal. Nice. 15 for 15. Fleury 9 for 9. Stay tuned for the Pizza Hut intermission report. Bill Patrick, Brian Englund, Keith Jones, and that Wolverine Aaron Ward after the break.
My name is Woody, and I've been building Civics for 9 years. When I see a Honda out on the road, I feel a lot of pride because I know that I was part of that. I'm very good at what I do. That's why I'm here. This is a solid car because I've seen how it's built. Safe, reliable, fuel efficient. They're fun to drive. Beep, beep.
Is that what it sounds like?
Pretty close.
Yeah, okay.
If alcohol has lost its magic for you, and you can't stop drinking.
I took action. My life has changed.
Now I have friends that accept me for me.
You'll find us in the phone book, your local newspaper, or on the web. Alcoholics Anonymous.
This is my amazing trip. That sun's a scorcher.
Look out for the shark.
Oh, hey, would you look at that?
How about going on a real amazing trip? Let Capital One send you somewhere that's featured on The Amazing Race. Enter online for your chance to win. The Amazing Race, Sundays on CTV. The new Aspire card from Capital One. Earn more reward miles.
Next, we're going to Paris.
Know what's good? A delicious turkey sandwich at Subway restaurants. One of our 8 classic sandwiches with 6 grams of fat. Subway. Think fresh, eat fresh.
New Irish Spring Intensify Body Wash gives you the legendary freshness of Ireland, spiked with a jolt of eucalyptus for an intense tingle. New Irish Spring Intensify, legendary freshness.
Why are you in my yard?
Helping you save your weekend. Here, I packed your toiletries. You go cliff diving, dog sledding, alligator wrestling. So many super destinations, such low rates.
Alright. Game looks open. Guess not. Let's just get it out. Huh. Maybe... Nope. I'll just take it myself.
Expect the incredible. NHL 11. Rated everyone 10 and up. EA Sports. It's in a game.
PlayStation.
NHL on the Fly, a real hockey show for real hockey fans. Every night at 8 Eastern, we set you up for this.
It goes down like a sack of flour.
Plus, our news and in-depth analysis from our NHL insiders takes you beyond the ice.
Oh, my. Look at that shake and bake.
NHL on the Fly, every night on NHL Network.
Oh, no way. That's unbelievable. That's the save of the year, and it's not even the year yet.
Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh. NHL face-off continuing tonight. The guys in the studio were showing you highlights of other games. There are more coming up later. All a part of a triple-header opener on Versus. This is 0-0 as we go into the second period. Has Bobrovsky weathered the worst of this, do you think?
But maybe, you know, the Flyers looked at times a little bit like they did early in games in the postseason, where they would start slowly and they'd get better and they'd usually gain a lead and then milk it. That guy's the story right now, though. They'll nickname him Bobby Ski or something. I hope so, anyway. They got Bobby Lou in Vancouver, maybe Bobby Ski in Philly.
Novokuznetsk in Russia is also where he was playing in the KHL for Metallurg. Novokuznetsk.
And faced a lot of rubber over there, too. And a lot of times a perfect breeding ground for netminders is a really poor team.
Brooks Orpik played it along. McCulloch there. Timonen a shot, and that deflected wide of Fleury in the cage. Hooked along by Carter. Fed right back to him by Mike Richards, and Carter's one-time try. Ricocheted off of Kunitz. Is brought back ahead by Crosby. Trying to shake by the defense. No luck there. Angled back ahead. Jeff Carter is nearby. Stymied a bit by Orpik. And so it is Malkin. Early stages, second period. Shots 15-9 through the first. Each team with one minor penalty. There were several ices.
Yeah, both coaches probably talked a little bit about settling down and puck management. They always talk about that. Don't turn pucks over. Don't throw them willy-nilly.
Here comes a chance. It is Leno beating one across for Hartnell. That was knifed away, and a good play by Chris Letang. Letescu tripped on that ricocheted off of Fleury. Side of the net. Hartnell pumping away, trying to get it home, and cannot.
What Hartnell does best. Get to the net. and stick around and annoy netminders.
It was Hartnell who forced the overtime in Game 6 against Chicago.
This one-on-one play. That's Coburn, the defenseman, straight up again. Look, he never looks at the puck, and forearm shiver to the chest of Sidney Crosby. Here's that little jam play. It's a fine line always that Hartnell has to dance between goalie interference and crashing the crease.
Danny Briere on the face-off tie-up, but emerging with this is Paul Martin. Steers it right back ahead, and it's Matt Cook up the wing. Cook carried to the corner. The most shots by any individual in the first period. Mike Comrie had 4. Bouncer is back near Martin. Flexed it back ahead. Stashed back in by Cook, and around to stop it, Bobrovsky. Puck up for grabs. Taken by the Penguins. Led back now for Goligoski. Helped to the front of the net by Letestu. And then thrown on back near Matt Cook. Good collision there. Lazzaros floated one along that's taken by Hartnell. Glances up the wing hoping for Briere, and you see he's got it. Near the trapezoid for the resulting play. Letestu brings it back again. Now, would you describe this as sloppy as you did in the first period? No. Just real careful.
No, it's yeah, circumspect.
Malkin, a shot that is held by Bobrovsky. Let's take a look at some action around the net with the Travelers protecting the crease.
And he's protected the Flyers' crease rather well. Sergei Bobrovsky, he's had a little bit of help. He's tracked the puck well. He's shown his agility and his flexibility in his first ever start in the National Hockey League.
Rifled around by Bartulis.
In the regular season, I should mention. It's a different game usually come regular season than it is in the preseason, where he was brilliant.
Play stopped with 2:21 gone in the second period.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Michael Layton is out with a back problem, the netminder for the Flyers, who was a major factor in their run in the postseason last year. He put up that great 2010 goal embargo, back-to-back shutouts, first guy to do that since Bernie Parent. So they've had to go with a hunch, you'd have to say, and Pete Laviolette goes with the kid over the veteran Brian Boucher, and so far he has delivered.
Boy, it was binder twine and gaffer tape and everything else trying to keep things together, but they sure did, and got remarkable goaltending and defense from just about anybody that they threw in there.
Right, Jeff Reese, their goalie coach, said every guy we threw out there, when he had to stand up, stood tall.
Jared across, a shot by Betts, blocked down, rebound, and we get a stoppage of play, and another power play on a hooking call will be coming up to the Flyers. Fans get more hockey than ever before with the NHL Game Center live app.
Penalty for hooking.
Okay, we got that call. Text NHL to 8603 for over 1,000 live games, real-time stats, video profiles, and more. Only from Verizon, the official wireless partner of the NHL.
So Englund in the box, second minor to the Penguins here tonight. Another look at what was a dynamite power play for the Philadelphia Flyers a year ago.
Jeff Carter is out there and now moves into the center position for this draw. Danny Briere out as well. But they're going to go with Mike Richards at the back on the right side, as they did so often last year. Shoveled one, score! Danny Briere on the redirection. The first goal ever in Consol Energy Center. It's a power play goal, and the Flyers have the lead 1-0.
And it's all about face-offs. I mean, the genesis of this is who controls the draw, and it gets magnified on special teams. Another look at it. Win the draw and then very quickly get to the net. 3 Flyers crash on that dot to make sure they come up with it. It's one of those misdirection plays, set up, eyes meet between the point man Richards and Briere, and a very deft little deflection in tight. Change the point of attack. Past a screen. Marc-Andre Fleury, no hope there. And the seal has been broken.
I noticed the puck was taken very carefully over to the penalty box area and will probably be headed toward Toronto as the first one ever scored here, but I'll presume too much, perhaps. Anyway, they've rescued it. That's important. Here is Timonen. 3:10 gone, second period. 1-0 the score in favor of the Flyers on a power play goal by Danny Briere. Nudged back in by Darryl Powell, and Goligoski flexed it along. Played further by Engelland, back up the boards. He swung it long for Kunitz, and then back further. Jody Shelley is out there.
Only a couple of shifts in the opening period as both the Flyers and Penguins were trying to get their act together.
Jody Shelley went to the net. The goaltender went down, and Shelley is meeting some of the Penguins.
A mini brouhaha, and I think there's going to be a minor out of this, perhaps. There's a hand up.
As we get the penalty call, we have the pleasure to have Gary Bettman, commissioner of the NHL, with us. I thought it was very appropriate, knowing at least some history, that you were out there with Mario Lemieux for the puck drop because of how tenuous there were some days here in Pittsburgh and how hard you fought for the franchise.
We knew that Pittsburgh wanted to keep the Penguins, and the fans here deserved everything we could do to make that happen. It meant Mario Lemieux and Ron Burkle owning the franchise. It meant stepping up with this great new magnificent building, and it's all come together. Actually, as we were walking out there, I asked Mario why they were booing him.
What strikes you most about this evening in particular?
I think in some respects, it's the culmination of all the efforts that went into making sure that the team could be successful here. And it's the beginning of a new era of a building that now has a connection with this team and this city that's going to last for years to come.
The shooter tutor has been strung across the net. Crosby cannot score, and the kid can play. 22 years of age, my goodness.
Do you think the fans here are just waiting to explode for the first Penguins goal?
Oh, yeah. You know, this was a lot of times in new arenas as Malkin feeds one across. One-time shot deflected wide. Let's get back to the next question in a moment. Sometimes arenas are quiet until they get the feel of things.
People are trying to get used to their new seats because they have so many season ticket holders here. They're looking around, but that's not the case here. There seems to be a lot of energy in this building, and I think the fans are just waiting for an opportunity to celebrate a goal.
Comrie nearly gave it to them. Another feed in front, and that went off Tangradi and wide.
He's the net front guy this time. That's a big human in front.
This is Malkin twisting it on back. Goligoski with it there. Fake the drive. Malkin tipped it across. Crosby back at his normal place there on the right circle. Able to move it on further. Sidney Crosby holds. Couldn't get a shot away. Poked on back to Goligoski. Led back across to Malkin. Couldn't get it to Goligoski as we're down to the last dozen of the power play. This time Goligoski plays it across. Fed back to Malkin by Crosby. Wends his way in, and while falling, shot it wide. Led back around again by Grady. Here's Crosby with a rising backhander that's knocked down by the defense. Rifled back off. Crosby has it. Searched out by Shelley and bumped to the boards and glass. Meanwhile, it's Pittsburgh back out by the Flyers out of harm's way. Penalty box empty, and we will have an icing here. A lot of pressure on Bobrovsky.
Some serious urgency from that Penguin power play. They came close multiple times. This is what happens, though, Mr. Commissioner. You've created such a spine-tingling game, we can't even talk to you while it's on.
That's actually not a big thing.
I hear you.
But I didn't create it. I mean, what goes on the ice is really a testament to the players and the coaches and everything that's been done by hockey operations to make sure the rules and the officiating are as good as possible.
Around in front, and hitting the pipe with the shot was Mark Letestu.
We haven't done anything enough yet to stifle some of the good goaltending.
Yeah, we were just talking about that it used to be a goaltender-dominated league, and it is a goaltender-dominated game here tonight.
Although there were 7 goals in Helsinki today.
There you go, good point.
So we're getting some goals scored.
Here is a chance again, and Briere this time could not cash in on Fleury.
This is just an unfettered game here tonight. It's been awesome.
There's been a lot of action, a lot of pressure on the goalies, but they've really stood tall.
Will it be icing? Sure will. Thank you so much.
Speaking of Europe, just a quick thought on Europe, though, and I think it's a wonderful initiative starting the season over there with league games and that. What's been the impact, and what do you see the impact going forward for the league?
Well, we want to reach out to the fans that we have in Europe. 28% of our players come from Europe. There's a great deal of interest in the game, and the fans over there want to see how the guys from their countries are actually doing playing in the best league in the world. So we played 7 exhibition games. We're playing 6 regular season games, and the players like going, and more importantly, it continues to encourage the development of young players.
On the heels of Vancouver, what's the timetable for a decision to be made on Sochi, Russia?
There is no timetable. There's no rush. I know a lot of people think we're against going. We just haven't made a decision one way or the other, and we don't have to for at least a couple of years. Might happen sooner, might not. And it's a decision that we'll make jointly with the players.
We were talking about the University of Michigan a couple of times tonight. What do you think Cornell's prospects are for hockey this year? Is your alma mater?
Oh, he's good. Mike Schaefer has got a great program in Ithaca with the Cornell Big Red, and I'm sure they'll be competitive again, as they always are.
And they'll have the newspapers ready for the Harvard game.
You're going to have to explain that.
It's a way of snubbing Harvard, which I guess they like doing up there. Tangle at the half boards. Dug out and thrown further by Jeff Carter, and the bouncer is taken over by the Penguin defense. Pollock's pass ricocheted back in. The Let's Go Pens chant picks up again. Talbot to the outside, denied by Timonen. Loose one gotten by Big Mike Rupp, but just that quickly Zherdev connects on a cross. Van Riemsdyk with a shot, and that one went wide. Held around further and off McCulloch's stick. Fed out in front. Another shot. Oh, and it rattled off the pipe. What a great chance that time to make it 2-0. Here's Mazzaros with a shot that's cut off. And the Flyers are starting to warm to the task here. You can tell it's a lot different than the first.
Well, how about how much time Giroux had to unleash that one?
Carl's shot went wide. Zherdev with it around behind. Pretty crafty he is. Works to the outside. Then it's on to Mazzaros. His shot pad answer came from Fleury. Carried on by Rupp. 8.5 played in the second period. Jabbed on by Carl. Second of 3 on Versus. Later on tonight, it is Chicago, the defending Stanley Cup champions, in Denver, the Colorado Avalanche. Laid back in again by Giroux.
The physical play started to ramp up a little bit here in the middle frame.
Crosby connects to Kunitz. Chases down and hopes for Dupuis, but no luck there. Coburn jabbed it along. Gotten by Leno. It is Coburn. Answered by Fleury. Hartnell threw it around. Leno got it there. One of the many European players we were talking about. A drive by Coburn ricocheted off someone in front and went wide. Stray stick being handled by Bobrovsky at the other end, and flawlessly, as he's done all night with pucks. Carried back on by England, overskated because of the pestering of Briere. Nice connection, though, to Kunitz. Moving back up the wing, he's got Mike Comrie with him and Malkin. Twist one on to Malkin, jabbed away by Bobrovsky, and came back out in front for another little tap that is Mike Richards' puck to play, and then Leno. Nearing the halfway point of the second period. What's your favorite place in the arena?
You know, in this arena?
Yeah.
I've been walking around. I've been all over. I was just in Suite 66 with Mario Lemieux, which is a suite on the glass, which is pretty good. Actually, this press box has a pretty good view of things.
Well, the price is right for us. We always like getting in free. Letang with a shot that is blocked back down.
You're really not getting in for free. You're working.
Oh, that's good. You know, you get a good seat for the game. You get to watch the best athletes going. It's a whale of a job.
It's a labor of love.
Taken on by Mazzaro and laid on back further past the halfway point of regulation time. This guy Bobrovsky played 4 games in the preseason and won 2 shootouts. 1 other regulation game, so he can handle the pressure. Shootouts too, if it comes to that. And Grady fed it on, hooked around in front, but good work done defensively by Mazzaros to anticipate and then flex it on for Darryl Howe to just lift it back out.
Penguins defense is starting to move pucks a little better to the forwards here in the middle frame. They've been able to exit their own zone quick, set up the attack. Had a couple of chances. There's another one.
Letestu's shot is turned aside by Bobrovsky. Around behind now for Kennedy. Carter defending Letestu in front, and a shot. Blocked down in front, kicked at. Bobrovsky still scrambling as the puck kicked along for Dan Carcillo to bring back out. Close call there. Carcillo led it. Carter with a shot. Save. Fleury bumped gently, taken on by the Penguins, and outletted now back out to Kennedy. Kennedy, wanting to step by Bartulis, puts on the brakes and leaves it back for a shot that was muffed by Goligoski.
You can see the Penguins now try to send more guys to the front of the net on Bobrovsky. If he doesn't have vision, he's going to have a tough time tracking it. If he sees it, it looks like he's going to stop it tonight.
This is Richards turning, but Mike Rupp taking. Drilled right back again by Coburn. And England to play. With the help of Goligoski right out in front. Oh, and a good flex move there by Fleury, denying what might have been a great opportunity for the Flyers. Dealt back along by Adams. Wants to get further. Cannot. We're going to get a penalty call. Commissioner, thank you.
Good to be with you. I'll see you around this season.
Good.
Enjoy. This is going to be a great one.
Thank you. Power play coming up in just a moment here in Pittsburgh.
Rule number 34. Be a gentleman. Okay. Number 42. Take it in stride. We're supposed to get along. Number 15. It's not over till it's over.
I'm gonna make you.
I love your phone.
With the BlackBerry Torch 9800 from Bell. Wireless wave. Love the phone.
Hey, I'm Kevin. I'm doing a semester in Germany, you know, getting some culture. But what I'm not getting is their humor. So I had this idea. What if I could get the videos on my PC back home and play them here? In good old Deutschland. Well, suddenly with Windows 7, I can play my favorite stuff from home pretty much anywhere. That's funny. I'm a PC, and Windows 7, totally my idea.
Totally.
Where's the heart of a champion? Right here. What's inside? A universe where heartbreak and sadness have been replaced by Old Spice.
With the all-new 2011 Jetta, our engineers in Germany didn't stop at redesigning the car. They also redesigned the price. Introducing the all-new 2011 Jetta, starting from only $15,875.
Volkswagen, das Auto.
Here again in Pittsburgh with 8 minutes to go, second period. 18,087. The 87, coincidentally, Sidney Crosby's numbers. He takes this draw. 66 special suites, coincidentally, Mario Lemieux's famous number. As this is knifed on back, and Letang has it. Carried back on by Malkin. Threw it through, could not get by. Jostled down a bit by Matt Carl. NHL face-off 2010 as the puck drops on a new season. Jonathan Taves, the defending Stanley Cup champions, face off against Matt Duchene and the Avalanche. Blackhawks, Avalanche next. Hockey lives on. You've seen earlier tonight that Chris Bertuzzi playing for Toronto. That's how his name is on the cup, I think. You know,
it was the first time. I heard they fixed it.
Okay, good.
Spell check.
It's a changing cast.
In the engraver's room.
Yeah, it's a changing cast in Chicago, but Joe Beninati, Bob Harwood, and of course Eddie Olczyk will be there.
I wonder whether that's the way to repeat, though.
What?
Is to change over a big chunk of your team rather than just maybe 15%. I'm sure they would have loved to kept some of those parts in Chicago, but nobody else seems to be able to repeat.
Malkin a drive, and the Scorcher got the glass. Held now by Crosby, halfway through the power play. The net presence at the front is that of Kunitz. Crosby fakes the drive, dealt it back, drive, and that deflected wide as the try came from Goligoski. Malkin shook it across. Crosby took it there. Crosby a shot, and that one was wide.
That missed by a whisker.
So Fleury will settle it down. 40 seconds to go. Some change in personnel. But not 87. He stays out. Well, he's going to the bench now.
The bubble's getting bigger for Bobrovsky, too.
The bubble?
The bubble. Bubble of confidence. the bubble of belief that nothing's going to get past you?
Has he put on a Macedonian performance yet, though?
Not yet.
Not yet?
It's early.
Okay. Fleury stops this behind. 15 to go. 6 1/4 left in the second. Danny Briere's power play goal, the only one in this game. That's for Philadelphia. Rattled around now, and it's Richards taking. Shuffling it back out. Gloved down and carried on by Claude Giroux. From Hearst, Ontario, way up north. Drops that in and then comes to the bench for an obedient change of lines. 21 shots to 15 Penguins, but 1-0 Flyers. Leno, but then lost. Carried on by Tangradi. Coached by Ed Hospodar in Philadelphia for 2 years. Credits him with being here today.
The boxcar.
Shaken back on. Tangradi dropped into the corner.
He's had a good game tonight so far.
Well, you said, well, here he's stolen a puck and taken it around behind. Shook a backhander in front that ricocheted off a stick and can be grabbed and outlet. Carried on now by Hartnell. Hartnell dropped it on back. Sent back across. Briere up with it there. Rifled down to the ice by Brooks Orpik. Briere up with it again. Laid it on back. Tiemann in a shot. Turned aside by Fleury, who can see it all the way. Now it is Briere. Handing on across. Billy Leno jostled. Penalty coming up. Might be 2 as a shot is deflected away. We'll get the penalty call, and the call is a rough. Brooks Orpik upset. But we're all happy because this is a great game. 1-0 Flyers.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car, official partner of the NHL. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Oh, my baby. My first baby was my 95 Civic. I still got it. They call it a sports car. Why's that? Because it's Daddy's car and it's red. My kids are 6 and 7. They think I work with robots all day. I do feel responsible. Some people can leave their job at work. I've got to drive mine home. This is for our customers. This is for my family. They go together. You can't separate that.
There are better ways to refresh your skin after shaving. Keep your sensitive skin feeling cool with Nivea for Men Aftershave Balm. What men want. And look for the complete sensitive line from the #1 men's skincare brand.
Keep the good times going, starring Bud Light.
You may be thinking, why am I connecting electrodes to some guy's head? Well, I'm collecting people's ultimate fantasies on my never-ending quest to keep the good times going. Yikes. That's pretty weird. Well, that's better. Ish.
The easy drinking taste of Bud Light.
Keep the good times going.
Thanks, Mom.
Breakfast wraps, anyone?
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna need the energy.
The new ones. Nice.
These tournaments always make me so nervous.
Why aren't they nervous?
Well, they get to play and we've got to watch.
Good point.
Freshly prepared with scrambled eggs and real cheddar cheese. Tim Hortons new breakfast wraps. Sausage or bacon, just $1.99 each.
Oh, it's time to go.
Always Tim Hortons.
Welcome back inside the Consol Energy Center, where the Pens are still looking for their first goal in their new barn, if you will. I'm enjoying the view from the Zamboni area, but earlier as I was walking around, I came across the Mario Lemieux mosaic, and it's unbelievable, you guys. At first glance, it just looks like a lot of different images of the great number 66, but you look a little bit closer, and 3,000 individual pictures from fans, the people that had worked on the Consol Energy Center, the staff, and what's very special is there's pictures of people who have benefited from the Mario Lemieux Foundation, which are benefits the kids that have cancer and their families. So a great cause, guys.
They have done a remarkable job, Carissa, at maintaining the fact that Pittsburgh is a series of neighborhoods. And the way that they treat people is the way they're perceived. And do they ever do a job of that here? Here is Cook dropping it back off short-handedly. Carried ahead now, and Adams a shot that is geared away by Bobrovsky. Just to show you, this morning, there was a long line outside of the kids that were here to get rush tickets. There are 200 of those almost every game. The line had started last night. They learned of the line about 9 o'clock this morning when Tom McMillan in charge of communications showed up at the rink, and he said, there's a long line out there. So David Morehouse, the president, said, let's get them all caught. Dupuis with a shot that was stifled. And we have a collision, and a net is dislodged. And is everybody okay there?
A fabulous hustle play to get back. The Flyers were not very good with the puck on this power play set, and they get away with it because of the hustle coming back. Watch right-hand side of the screen. There's Hartnell, who fouled up Dupuis, who had this teed up for him by Talbot. No shot on goal because of the guy with the hirsute do, thick-haired one, who gets to the net like that at the attacking end of the rink more often than he does defensively, but may have saved a goal there.
The son of parents who were teachers, who had no rule about hair in their house, apparently. And a guy that was quite productive in 08-09. He had 30 goals, 30 assists, Scott Hartnell.
Thing, you never see goalies growing the long hair, though.
Why is that?
They never grow the long bangs.
Why?
We're going to see things.
Oh. I just didn't think you wanted to stand out or be targets of anything other than shots.
Ridicule?
Yes. John Davidson once told me that Phil Esposito was 77 and Ken Hodge was 88, and so they convinced him to wear double zero. He said it didn't last for very long. You should have heard the things that were said to him.
And it's not allowed anymore.
No. Here is Rupp going back. Neil Sheehy wore a 0 for Hartford. Meanwhile, knifed away from Rupp. 30 to go on the power play as of right now. 3.5 to go, second period, 1-0 in favor of the Flyers. Danny Briere, that tangled up in Talbot. Followed up now by Paul Martin and shaken on back again.
It was a real physical shift by Brooks Orpik leading up to his penalty, and the Penguins are trying to kill this off for him.
Oh, what a stop made on a change direction shot by Fleury, who has lost his goal stick right now.
Went off his own defenseman, McCulloch, in front of him. He turns back and says, thanks, buddy.
3 minutes to go. Penalty box empty. Orpik is out, heads to the bench for a change. So the Penguins have weathered this. Late second period, they're down by 1. Carried right back ahead and dropped back off for a shot that is saved by rebound. They score! Right at the net mouth, it was Blair Betts to stash it, or rather James Van Riemsdyk to stash it in. Or was it Betts? 11 and 21, I'm sorry. It was Betts.
Well, I'll tell you what happened, though, that has Dan Bielsma's smile upside down is as they came back into their own zone, they got focused, the Penguins did, on the puck instead of loose men. Throw it at the net. It's a simple, simple goal. Throw it at the net. They had two guys go straight to the net. There's the deflection off the initial shot on goal that didn't allow Fleury to control it. Good look from our slow-mo. Betts is there. It's a tick late for Paul Martin to try to gather that up and protect his goaltender, and just like that, a 2-goal lead. That's like a bonus goal when you get it out of those guys, and ugly.
Well, you had said earlier, did you not, that third lines would make a huge difference in this game. This one is pitched back out. Do we define that as a third line goal?
Sort of. To make me more correct, we could.
Yeah, okay. We'll stretch it a little bit. Well, here's Malkin trying to dig it out, but it's forced across by Carcillo, who oftentimes is employed back on the ice after the Flyers score or are scored upon, just to make sure there's a physical presence there. Kunitz able to direct it back out. Malkin and Crosby play some catch ahead, but that's interrupted by the Flyer defense with under 2 minutes to go. Here's Kunitz, flexed away from him at just the right moment, and forced back out by the Flyers to be carried back ahead now by Mike Richards. Richards had that one sent across. Richards able to dig it out. Gave it up now to Letang. Then Goligoski. Penguins fans trying to get their team energized with a chance. Hasn't built a lot yet. Letang throws it around. Carl tipped it further. 80 seconds to go, second period. Goligoski got a piece of that, and it's corralled by Letang.
Yeah, the rookie Flyer netminder is not complying here tonight.
He has faced 23. Gotten them all. Letang on now for Mike Comrie. Icing will come from this as Goligoski touches up.
Yeah, they've had really good looks at him. They've hit some pipes in and around him. Both netminders have been bailed out by perhaps fatter pipes here across the street. And, you know, that's a painful one if you're the Penguins. You're coming off a real strong penalty kill. It's a 1-goal game. You're late in the second period in your own arena. You haven't been able to get on the board, get your fans really involved, and then you give up a goal like that off the rush.
Well, as you said, a bonus goal. Thrown back along by Paul Martin. Tipped further by Mazzaros. Cook dropped it on. Tangradi to the outside. Booted it along further. Taken on by Cook. Given on back to Paul Martin again. Tangradi roughed up a bit.
He protects the puck well. There he is again. Use that big frame.
Took a shot, and that one sealed by Bobrovsky. Well, he was playing second line regular in the preseason. Sometimes it doesn't translate over, but it has here. Big celebration by Blair Betts. Van Riemsdyk was not far away.
Behind this symbol, you'll find Canadian values, your local economy, and above all, the passion of dairy farmers from where you live. Look for this symbol on your dairy products, 100% Canadian milk, a source of pride.
People notice yellow stains, so try new Speed Stick Stain Guard with stain defense technology that helps protect you and your shirts. New Speed Stick Stain Guard, smarter than sweat.
Before I got my new Capital One Aspire card, I was like that guy, buying everything at the gas station just to get bonus miles, even gifts. For holidays, party favors, even anniversaries. But now, thanks to Aspire, I get 2 reward miles for every $1 on everything, everywhere.
The new Capital One Aspire card. Earn 2 reward miles for every $1 spent on everything you buy. Visit CapitalOne.ca.
What's in your wallet?
How new is the new Edge with My Ford Touch? Well, you could never do this before.
Hello.
Or this. Or this. And you definitely couldn't do this.
Play Kate's Mix.
Or this.
Temperature, 22 degrees.
Say hello to the new Edge with My Ford Touch. Quite possibly the world's smartest crossover.
We're the Nakashima brothers. We're from Grassy Lake, Alberta. We grow Lay's potato chips.
I'm a potato farmer. Lay's potato farm.
You're the secretary, remember?
Our dad taught us everything we know about potato farming. See, he's a pro at this.
I think it takes a great potato to make a great potato chip.
Just this one time, please may I have one of your Lay's chips?
No.
Timo Timonen was ready as this is dumped around behind. 4-time Olympian from Finland. Chip back out now, and Letang couldn't come up with it. Carried right back in. Oh, and Letang smeared down Claude Giroux. To the last 15 of the period. Time for Malkin to move ahead. He's got Crosby nearby. Hands on to Kunitz. He tumbles to the ice. Another chance for the Flyers. If they hustle. Carried on now by Giroux. 5 to go. Throwing in and chipping one with Blair Betts. Loose puck out in front. And a shot was blocked away by Kunitz, and the horn sounds. Blair Betts got 1. Nearly got 2. 24 shots on the 22-year-old netminder Sergei Bobrovsky, and he's gotten them all. 19 by the Flyers. 2 have gone in. Briere as well as Betts. Stay tuned for the Verizon Intermission Report. Bill Bryan, Keith, and Aaron after the break.
Welcome to the Pepsi Refresh Project. This year, we're giving over $1 million to fund your ideas to make Canada a better place. Here's how it works. You submit ideas. You vote for ideas that you like best. And each cycle, the ideas with the most votes get a Pepsi Refresh grant. The Pepsi Refresh Project. It's happening now at refresheverything.ca.
Oh, my baby. I mean, my first baby was my 95 Civic. I still got it. They call it a sports car. Why is that? Because it's daddy's car and it's red. My kids are 6 and 7. They think I work with robots all day. I do feel responsible. Some people can leave their job at work. I've got to drive mine home. This is for our customers. This is for my family. They go together. You can't separate that.
All right. Game looks open. Guess not. Let's just get it out. Huh. Maybe... Nope. I'll just take it myself.
Expect the incredible NHL 11. Rated everyone 10 and up. EA Sports. It's in a game.
PlayStation.
Now Scotiabank customers can win NHL tickets weekly at ScotiaHockeyClub.com.
Hey, free tickets.
Register at ScotiaHockeyClub.com. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
Now Scotiabank customers can win NHL tickets weekly at ScotiaHockeyClub.com.
Hey, free tickets.
Register at ScotiaHockeyClub.com. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
You see where they come out to this ice surface. Just across 5th Avenue from Old Mellon Arena, that as of October 1st is Civic Arena again. It was a 10-year naming deal that expired October 1st. No extension there. Sorry, we're back to the old name again. But what will we see from the Penguins here in the third? They are starting Malkin as well as Crosby and Kunitz together. Jeff Carter and Carcillo and Richards starting together as well for the Philadelphia Flyers. Coming by as Crosby helped it back out in front, hurried back up the wing, and Malkin just couldn't take the pass off the boards, and it's flexed back down.
Had Timonen and Coburn, the two defensemen for the Flyers, caught, but the puck obviously behind Malkin, and he couldn't hit it in stride.
Icing here.
Which is the call of the night. That and save Bobrovsky. You've said that a lot. Yeah, they reunited that trio up top with Kunitz, Malkin, and Crosby throughout the game as it moved along, trying to find some offense. I mean, there's a big bagel on the board. Malkin missed a wide open, not a wide open net, but he had a lot of room on the short side early in the game.
Letang gave it over, taken now by Paul Martin. Martin flipped one in front, across, eventually set it up, they score! Kennedy!
Finally, they get to their feet here. The importance of winning face-offs and controlling it. Bobrovsky, the netminder, checked his skate a little bit. He was really awkward trying to move laterally. He's been very good, and it allowed the double clutch there, and just a sick seeing ice snapper. Perfect look here past Coburn and entombed up top in the Flyer net. It pays to be a right shot that deep on the left-hand side to have some look at the net, found his mark, and put the Pens on the board for the first time in the regular season in this building. It wasn't an equipment malfunction. Maybe lost an edge. Sometimes goaltenders will kick the post and lose an edge, and he was obviously stumbling, bumbling awkward, trying to get across and deal with that man.
Letestu and Kennedy and Cook are out there for the resulting face-off that the Penguins can control, as you see. It's worked back on now to Letang, and Letang shakes it back in. The edge to the inside of the place. The buzz has resumed now, is turning as Kennedy. Had Letestu, but could not shake free of the work of Braden Coburn to get it to him. Hartnell sees a follow-up here by Matt Carl. Shaken back up the wing, trouble for Briere. He hacked it in anyway, and Fleury decides I'll hold on here.
It's been a good line tonight. Letestu's been an impressive young man. He sort of impressed the Penguins in some short spurts. They have some question marks as to whether he's going to be able to do it over the long haul. He's not the biggest guy. There he is there. Foot speed, it seems like every time somebody has some question mark about an individual coming. Can he skate? Can he get up and down the ice? Because if you can't skate in this game, you can't play.
Here's Malkin, a shot, save Bobrovsky. Galagaski. Rebound and picked up, but could not be controlled by the Flyers and Bartulis, and so twisting along with it now is Galagaski. Slams on the brakes and settles things down. Couldn't be handled that time by Tengrady, and instead it's Zherdev bringing it on. Zherdev with one that's blocked down, played back along again. Flyers make a change at defense. One-time shot, scorched off the glass from Bartulis. Close quarters, Van Riemsdyk works it along the outside, came on back to Zherdev again. A little bit of an opening, got it across, and Giroux's shot was deflected to the glass. Galagaski defensively for Pittsburgh. Tipped by Tengrady, second effort, able to flex it out to center. More changes of players at the bench areas. Giroux finesses, can't get the shot away. Derek Engelland did a good job that time.
Yes, he did. Good use of the stick.
Dropped on by Zherdev. Jody Shelley went down. Puck taken on by Kunitz, handed across to Engelland. Chip back on now to Kunitz. Has Malkin there, but the pass just behind him.
Get this big top trio out for the Penguins with Jody Shelley with a rare trip around the rink. Flyer fourth line on the ice.
Let's revisit our Pizza Hut favorite matchup of the night, the two captains.
Here's the compendium of their work this evening. Doesn't show it all. Richards involved in the Briere power play goal. It was his shot from the point. He's been physical as he usually is. And Sidney Crosby's taken twice as many, well over twice as many faceoffs as any other Penguin player.
Zaros dealt it back in, hooked around behind off the back of the cage, but Carcillo recovered, though this one comes to Kunitz. Can't flip it back out. Geared right back in. Carcillo there with some room. Got it on back for the settle down by Richards, but taken back ahead. Might be an on-man rush for the Penguins. Carried back up the wing and shuffled in front, and Crosby was canceled out, but there'll be a penalty coming up.
Well, Mazaros, the defenseman, was trying to come back and handle him and got a little over-exuberant with his hands up in the grill of Sidney Crosby.
Number 41, Philadelphia. Minor penalty, roughing.
You know, the play that got him in trouble was obviously at the attacking blue line, and then once they got in this situation, you got to deal with it. Crosby's a smart guy. Attack the defenseman. Go right at him. There's a little area pass by Kunitz. Looking to deflect it, get right in the face, draw the call, get on the power play.
Galagaski walks it on. Handed it on across. Crosby returned it to him. Across, drive, rattled off the post. Crosby again, got it to Galagaski. Ripped right back across on a direction, on back to Galagaski again. Peels away from Blair Betts. Gave it on to Crosby. Back to Galagaski once again. Positioned at the front is Kunitz, trying to block the vision of Bobrovsky. Side wheeling pass, a 360 from Crosby, can't be controlled. And it's led back out again by Betts.
They had that set up. Timonen read it perfectly, though, in front of his netminder to break up that little low play.
Galagaski along, jostled a bit was Crosby. Richards tumbles down. Powell trying to force it further, walking away as Malkin, tried to slither it in front, no luck, and it's cleared back down.
Just can't seem to get completely unhinged in this game, Evgeny Malkin, and Crosby can't hit Twine. I think that's his 9th shot taken in the game. Some have been blocked, some have been wide.
Mike Richards had his man lined up. It was Letestu, but he shook by, and all of this results in an offside.
Just about obliterated him as he stepped up in the neutral zone. So midway through this crucial power play for the Penguins, and it's an area, it's almost like a paradoxical statement that the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's alliteration, so I'm strong right now, that they need their power play to be better when you consider the personnel they can trot out there. But there's no question it had to have an uptick for them this season.
19th out of the 30 teams last year. 14 of these Penguins won the championship. 17 of the Philadelphia Flyers that are available were a part of the finals last year. It's not real radical change in a day when teams have radical change. Ask Joel Quenneville. You have the chance to watch his team later on Versus. Carried back ahead now and dropped off by Letang. And an escape here and a play in front. They score! Claude Giroux, short-handed, 3-1.
Well, this is just a gift turnover, obviously, and a guy who anticipates plays is as good as any young player in the league. Claude Giroux has this one. You know, they're trying to lay it back to Martin and come, but it was a terrible pass, an egregious error, and he makes them pay. The little achy breaky puts the binders on. It's just not an advised pass. And Giroux, who was aggressive and sniffing it out, stuffed it home.
16 goals last year, 57 points. That's a contribution, and you're not getting it from one of the top two lines. You're getting it from those guys you mentioned that are down lower.
Well, and the benefit that he gets, too, and that line does, they don't play against the top defenseman that often.
McCulloch let it go. Found its way in, and it's a one-goal game again.
What an answer. With 1 second remaining in the minor. Watch this get through the morass. There's like a flash mob in front of the netminder. They all line up. He drops, can't find it, and it goes right through multiple individuals, and then ultimately through the visually hampered Sergei Bobrovsky. Kunitz was the last man in front of the net, creating some of that screen, but there was a lot of bodies in front of him.
Dan Bilesman talked this morning about the guy with net presence. And he made his choice tonight. He made a good choice because that was a factor in this being a one-goal game again.
How many times do you see that, though, Di? It's not how hard the puck is shot. It gets through.
Brought ahead now by Leno. Drops it back in a drive by Carl. On the rebound came big off of Fleury, but went by the charging Hartnell. And so back up ice the Penguins. Putting on the brakes is Cook. Got it on a cross. McCulloch a shot, and that one blocked off. Lobbed back down. Will it be icing? Sure enough. Play stopped with 14:06 to go in the third, and the Flyers have the lead, but it is just one now. Comcast has you covered when it comes to the NHL with NHL Network, NHL On Demand, NHL Center Ice, and of course Versus. Comcast gives you access 24/7 to NHL action no matter where you live. All from Comcast, the home of the most live sports.
Heck of a block by Matt Carl just prior to that icing. He's playing out here tonight without his usual partner, Chris Pronger, not ready to go yet.
Fed to the back for another shot that rattled wide. Bounced back over to Max Talbot. Sized up by Hartnell. The two of them collide. Leno, and it will come then past Malkin. No icing on this play. Malkin trying to rag it through traffic, no luck.
Yeah, the hitting has become more and more vicious as this thing's moved along.
Barcelo led it over to Richards. Denied, but he circled. Got it on back for the feed across. Bartulis a shot, and that one blocked back out again and carried back up ice for the little nudge back in by Mike Rupp, who comes to the bench. The big man from Cleveland with a good block there. Talbot hit by Richards. Talbot escapes, though. Booted on back to the corner, can be played further by Kunitz. Shook it around behind, hoping for Malkin. Bartulis intercedes there. Taken along by Richards. Fans wanted a penalty. Played back on now for Carter. And then left alone for Malkin, and a penalty coming up. The call is a hook on him.
Oh, my. It looked like he had lifted his stick and made a good offensive play, but not in the eyes of the Stripes.
7 minutes played in the third. Some staring and a one-goal game. Love it.
Rated T for team. Rock is back in the must-have video game for fall. Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. Buy now. Get the new Soundgarden album free while supplies last.
Know
what's good? A delicious turkey sandwich at Subway restaurants. One of our 8 classic sandwiches with 6 grams of fat. Subway. Think fresh, eat fresh.
There are better ways to refresh your skin after shaving. Keep your sensitive skin feeling cool with Nivea for Men After Shave Balm. What men want. And look for the complete sensitive line from the #1 men's skincare brand.
For better cooking, choose the new, elegantly styled Curadori cookware set. Exclusively at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Made of beautiful, high-quality stainless steel with bases designed for even heat distribution, this cookware has rolled and beaded edges for easy pouring and cleaning. The easy grip handles have silicone inserts and are oven safe. The 9-piece Curadori cookware set. Exclusively at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
With the all-new 2011 Jetta, our engineers in Germany didn't stop at redesigning the car. They also redesigned the price. Introducing the all-new 2011 Jetta, starting from only $15,875.
Volkswagen, das Auto.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, where the Flyers lead 3-2. Now listen up, all you die-hard Pens fans. You will want to make sure that you download the Pens mobile app if you are inside the building. A very cool feature of the Penguins official phone app is you can see various different replays from 4 different camera angles. You choose behind the net, center ice, from the blue line, whatever you want. Now, if you're outside the building and enjoying the game from home, you'll get various stats. You'll also be linked to Twitter pages of the various different players, so a way to keep you connected both at the game and at home, guys.
There is a lot of interesting things going on electronically here. As here is Briere with a shot that's directed wide. Forced along in some traffic now by McCulloch. Off the stick of Richard. Orpik able to take over and sling it back out. Those rings around the inside of the arena, when the Penguins score, actually outside the building from some of the street area, you can see those. They have taken sound and light to a new place here as Adams comes out short-handed. Oh, he was lined up, wasn't he? Bounced off the shoulder, is coming to the bench now as Richards. Carried back on is Briere. Good scrap there by Dupuis. It's kicked on across by Goligoski and taken by Mazzaros. Around, they want Briere. Can't get him, but it's Billy Leno slinging it on back now to Timonen. Halfway through the power play, Leno dealt it back off for Briere. Leno moves to the front, now drifts. Briere to the back. Drive by Timonen is deflected up high and into the netting by Fleury.
We'll go back to the minor penalty on Evgeny Malkin. It's offensive hooking, if you will. You know, just a subtle little hook on Bartulis. He's in disbelief. That used to be, I mean, most times I think that's a pretty good play to lift the guy's stick. Problem for him was I think he got him in between the hands and it drew the call.
45 to go on his minor penalty. Giroux buried. Taking it is Crosby. Laid it back across and Letang can bring it further. Suffering a little bit from being under the weather, but he's motoring back in 58 in black. It's carried off enough that the Flyers can get it settled down again and start it back in the last 25 of their power play. Watching that with Fleury, taking it along and skidding down to the ice is Hartnell. Sent back off the stick of Matt Carl, and a race on for this one. Hacked back along further by Betts. Taken back on by Gerdev now. Gerdev able to motor his way along and hand it across for the play by Giroux. Pumped back on to Gerdev again. Then back near Giroux. Onto the back it comes. Carl a shot. Knocked down in front. Chip back in traffic. Giroux fed it across and it careened on back to be taken by Carl. Carl slings one across. Directed on to Giroux. Penalty time is up. Drive knocked down in front. Picked up, broken stick on the ice, but it's carried right back out again. And working it along is Malkin, fresh from the box. Peels by one, almost able to finesse the defense, but almost the operative word there. Braden Coburn nudged it back.
Tried to knock that up in the air and then chip it past the defense. Now, you're right. Nice work by the two defensemen in concert to close down on a very determined Evgeny Malkin.
Malkin tried to beat it across, and that caromed off of Jeff Carter, who sees it come right back to him. And we get an offside call. 10:22 to go in the third, and a one-goal game. Let's take a look at tonight's Bud Light Impact player. He wears the heavy equipment.
In his debut in the National Hockey League, 22-year-old Sergei Bobrovsky, a phenomenal opening period. He's continued on throughout. Here are the guys that have tended the twine for the Flyers as rookies in season openers. Ronnie Hextall back in '86, Dominic Roussel, and now the young Russian.
You were available at one time, were you not? Just not chosen? Okay.
Not very often after that either, Doc. It wasn't just opening night.
But the third goaltender in the miracle team of the Edmonton Oilers in '87. Miracle that they weren't closed down because they dominated everyone so much.
Didn't they though?
Tipped back down, and this will be watched by Fleury as it comes back for yet another icing. We talked earlier about the wonderful service that is provided for fans here just because of the nature of the way the Penguins operate their team. We talked about the coffee and donuts served by Ray Shiro, as well as David Morehouse, the president, and Dan Bilesma, the coach. He came out and handed out the coffee and donuts today. They had a game that wasn't on the season ticket list. It was an added game with the Columbus Blue Jackets. They gave away every ticket to youth hockey or college kids that might not otherwise have a chance to watch them play in a brand new facility. And they had a full house, of course, for that. They think of things like that.
They're as impressive off the ice here in Pittsburgh as they are on with the group that they have assembled.
This is Crosby, a part of the athletic side, dropping it on back for Goligoski. Didn't get much on that. Carter was there to make sure. Hooked in front off of Jeff Carter, and he steams back up with it. Lays a pass ahead. Van Riemsdyk moves on, and his shot was slowed down by Letang, who caught up, and it is held by Fleury. Play stop midway third period. A one-goal game in favor of the Flyers.
I'm a legal courier. If I have to look at multiple cases with BlackBerry Torch, that can have multiple tabs going, scroll over to it, and there it is. I call it a future phone. I use maps if I need to find an obscure address. It's awesome, and it really makes me feel like, hey, this is my city, you know.
It's like a blast of hydration. The new Schick Hydro. Water-activated gel hydrates your skin, and skin guards reduce irritation. It's our best shave for your skin. Schick Hydro. Free your skin.
Told you to bring a raincoat.
I did.
Hyper-dry, water-repellent hoodies. Only at Mark's Work Warehouse.
I will not compromise. I will not back down. I will not give up. I will never sacrifice joy in the name of practicality. The Asphalt Kicking, award-winning Mazda 3. Zoom Zoom today, tomorrow, forever.
All right. Game looks open. Guess not. Let's just get it out. Huh. Maybe... Nope. I'll just take it myself.
Expect the incredible NHL 11. Rated everyone 10 and up. EA Sports. It's in a game.
PlayStation.
I'm Bill Patrick. Ahead on Hockey Central, presented by Bud Light. Keith Jones, Brian Engblom, and Aaron Ward are back for complete post-game analysis. We'll also get you set for Game 2 of our doubleheader between the Blackhawks and Avalanche. Stay with us right after the game, guys.
Bill, Nick Boynton would love to play in that game, but he is suspended for one game. He can't start the season with his squad. But he'll be watching, as will we. The banner hoisting will be Saturday for Chicago against Dallas. Or against Detroit, I beg your pardon. Taken on now by Van Riemsdyk. Nice play, but a backhander went off the pipe. Centered by Richards. Dropped off by the Penguins, who carry it back up ice. Lugged on now by Tengrady. Trying to work it to the front. Can't do it. Second effort goes along to Malkin. It's open. Who wants it? Comray's the guy. And then Malkin again. Malkin and Crosby separated right now. Malkin turned to the outside. Dropped it on back again. Carter is there watching. Good defensive player. He's shown that in the last 2 shifts in particular. Glove down by Brooks Orpik in a shot. Turned aside by Bobrovsky. Malkin again. Shoveled it on back. Orpik gave it across. McCulloch with it there. Drew one in front. It's directed wide. His last try was tipped home by Goligoski. And we get an offside call.
Wow, that call was made by the linesman, who was right in front of the Flyer bench, about 80 feet away from where that puck came out, he said. So there was a healthy argument from the guys in black down there. And they had a good rotation going with a line that would scare me right now if I'm Philadelphia, and that's Comrie and Malkin. He didn't agree with it.
Matt Carl takes this and works it across. Well, a difference of opinion helps the world this big, doesn't it? Letang dropped it off. Paul Martin took over there. Minnesota Twins fan tried to lay it on ahead, could not. Dropped back defensively as Leno skipped one along. Hartnell threw it across the net, mouth wide. And dropping on back now is Chris Kunitz. And again, they must drop back. And this time it's Kunitz again. Clock winks down to the smaller numbers. 7:45 left to go. 29 shots to 24 in favor of Pittsburgh, but only 5 in this period. Chipped back along, left behind by Crosby. Started ahead by Hartnell, connects back up. Working his way along is Billy Leno. MVP in the Finnish League one year. Leno dropped it on back. Puck left behind, but reflexed on back to Leno again by Braden Coburn. Leno challenged by a pair, and they're able to walk away with it. Crosby brings it ahead. Tried to slip a pass through, no luck, because it's Timonen who's back there. Carried right back in again and handed on to Kunitz for a shot that is just grabbed and held. One of the more conservative plays of the night from Bobrovsky.
Yeah, he hasn't had to do a ton for a little while now. Jonathan Bernier, and as you pointed out earlier when we were peeking at that start for him in victory as a rookie in a NHL debut, and an opener was over across the pond.
London, England, they keep good stats there too. It is tipped along now for Letestu. Held, and a shot is blocked right back out again, and so the Penguins recoil. Slug it back in. Flyers in the midst of an offensive change here. They have Giroux's unit back out, and Van Riemsdyk. And Giroux. Van Riemsdyk gave it across. Poked free to Giroux. Sized up there by Matt Cook. Drops right in on goal, and Fleury holds. 6:31 to go here in period number 3.
We've seen a couple of goals scored tonight off of face-off wins, and you know, you see that all season long in the NHL now, because players can't hold up individuals like they used to off of these attacking zone face-offs. So if you win it clean, you usually get a pretty good look at a scoring opportunity. And especially when you get like this, you know, 6.5 to go in regulation, 1-goal hockey game. You got to have your best people out here. You have to have multiple guys on the ice defensively who can take draws.
It is near Carter. Battles there, but the battle won by Max Talbot. Played on by Orpik, chipped along by Mike Ruff, turned right back by the Flyers again, handed to Carcillo. His shot is geared away by Fleury. Carcillo around behind. It's Richards with it there. Angles on back to Mazzaros, and he couldn't stop it. Mazzaros challenged there by Ruff, but he's able to foist it on a cross, and they can settle things down a bit, the Flyers, with 6 minutes to go as of right now in the third. Puck coughed up by Richards, but still tested for at center before McCulloch could skip it into the corner, and Ruff into play that. Just lifts it along. Adams to go for it there. Adams has Talbot nearby. Puck turned over. Flyers can start. Back down it goes from Richards. Will this be another one? Puck sent from the defensive side of the center red line over the end line and touched by a member of the opposition first. While the teams are at even strength, a wordy explanation of what we've seen so often tonight. Ice.
But spot on, Doc. And because of that, the team that iced the puck can't change players. The attacking team can, so Dan Bialsma with an advantage here if they can win this draw.
Got Crosby and Malkin out there. Won by Crosby. Malkin played it back. Martin set it up. Drive by Letang. Knocked down in front. And scoop back out, but not all the way out. I beg your pardon, by the Flyers. It's Malkin up with it again. He's got Paul Martin nearby. Malkin tried to get to the slot to let a shot go. Too many Flyers there. And it's thrown back out again by Carcillo.
3 of them converged on the big man in the middle of the ice.
They sensed he wasn't going to pass. Carried back ahead by Letang, over for a shot that's well wide.
They played a hunch.
Here is Malkin with it. Threw one back. Martin gave it to the side. Crosby's pass deflected back. Kept alive by Martin. They tried to swing it back to Crosby, but Letang's pass was spoiled and eventually sent back out to center where the Flyers try to play and swat it back in. That done by Darryl Powell.
What Martin's going to bring to the Penguins, too, that ability to hold the attacking blue line and make plays like that. Trust his ability to get back in case it bobbles off his stick and in behind.
Malkin could not play further. Shaken back up to him again. Can he sidestep a man this time? O'Donnell watched him tightly. Comrie feeds. Goligoski with it. Threw one in front that spiked wide by the defense of Artulis. Worked back onto Crosby again. Fed one on back to the point, and a shot by McCulloch is ricocheted back down. He must play again. Backhands it in deep. It is Comrie with it there. Can't finesse one to the front because of Danny Briere's defensive work. And this one pops ahead, and Briere can steam on with it. Goligoski watching him. Briere tried to get a shot away. Good defensive play by Goligoski. Fed on back for a shot. Oh, and that rattled off a flurry.
Went off his head, I think.
It looked like it struck the mask, didn't it?
What a shift by Briere. Won a puck battle against Comrie down in the corner. Comrie stopped skating and then took it to the other end of the rink.
It is Carl. It is Van Riemsdyk. It is 3:45 to go. Fans get back into it. Sherdev couldn't stop that one. Yanked on by Kunitz and eventually thrown on back where Kimmo Timonen is watching for the Flyers defense. Again, Fleury must play. Slowed that one down, and Martin back to get it. Martin and Chris Letang, the defense pair for the Penguins right now. Pascal Dupree brings it on. That one swung back in deep and around behind his Kunitz, but it's taken by Letestu. Fed on back now. McCulloch's shot was snubbed out by the Flyers and played back on by Sherdev. Can he get loose? No. Good back-checking job done by the Penguins, and it's carried on back again by Goligoski, who whirls one on. Letestu with a great checking job. Has a drive by Dupuis, ricocheted off the post, and out of play. 2:53 to go, third period. It's still the Flyers 3 and the Penguins 2.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car, official partner of the NHL. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
When it's your meal ticket. When it's your escape. When it's your social lounge. When it's your statement. Protected with Prestone, engineering lasting relationships between cars and owners since 1927. When you own it, Prestone it.
Right now at your Ford store, our smartest, safest, and most fuel-efficient vehicles are attracting a lot of attention. Because during the Ford Right Here, Right Now event, the best-selling brand in Canada now has some pretty impressive offers. Like 0% financing for up to 60 months. Plus, a no extra charge winter safety package, including winter tires, rims, and more on select new models. So hurry in. It's all right here, right now. Only at your Ford store.
More hockey than you can shake a stick at. Catch every game and 24/7 Hockey Talk exclusively on XM.
It's like a blast of hydration. The new Schick Hydro. Water-activated gel hydrates your skin, and Skin Guards reduce irritation. It's our best shave for your skin. Schick Hydro. Free your skin.
That was before tonight's game. Mario Lemieux pouring out the water from the arena across the street to blend it with this one. And who better to do it? The man who rescued the franchise athletically twice and took it from bankruptcy successfully once. Backhanded by Crosby on through. McCulloch to take it there. Like Richard Schooling. Lost it. Loose puck in front. While falling, Crosby puts that one off Bobrovsky.
I don't know how that stayed out. It obviously fooled the netminder. There's been a lot of stuff in and around. A lot of just abouts for the Penguins tonight.
Right around in front. Feed across. Oh! Save on Carter! Larceny. Taken on by Kunitz. Do you believe in omens? If you're a Penguins fan, you're nodding yes. What a stop, and now it is Timonen. 2:10 to go in the third. Sent in by Richards, stopped by Fleury, taken by Martin. Moves out with Letestu. Also on the ice right now is Kennedy. The flip across is out of play.
Wow. A flabbergasting series of events. Little rattle around Bobrovsky. Watch how close this comes. He doesn't have any idea where it went, and it rattled off the instep of his left pad. Then they went lickety-split the other direction, and the best save of the night by either guy.
It is Letang. Guided it across. Goligoski to bring it ahead. 1:50 to go in the third. And Letang must play once more. Letestu out there along with Kennedy. They march on. Kennedy with an opening. Scored the first Penguin goal here tonight. Trickled one around that careens on to Matt Carl. Former Hobie Baker Award winner. Just send it back out again. And so it is Martin. Rifles it along to Goligoski. Another change. Kennedy comes off. Malkin is out there. Another change. Crosby is out there. Carried back ahead, and the follow-up comes from Matt Cook. A penalty coming up. It'll be against the Flyers with 1:13 to go. The potential of the net being empty, but also a power play so the Flyers could clear and perhaps score.
Minor penalty. Okay. Well, here's a tantalizing pad save by Fleury in tight on the best goal scorer on the Philadelphia Flyers, Carter, and a momentum changer, and it's allowed the Penguins to get to this point where their power play, which they're asking more from, can get on the ice. Buck 13 to go. They're going to go for it right now and bring Fleury to the bench. So essentially it's a two-man advantage.
The talent for Pittsburgh is out there. Letang able to snuff it out enough that Crosby could hook it across, but we get a stoppage of play.
And a hand pass. You can make hand passes in the defensive zone, but you can't in the attacking zone once you're outside of your own blue line. So they'll start this just outside the Philadelphia zone. Be a nice stage for Comrie to chip in, wouldn't it?
He'll have the chance as Kunitz moves in. They got him around behind where he could rifle it back off, and Malkin couldn't come up with it. A 2-on-2 with the net empty, thrown by Richards wide. No punishment for icing here. Flyers are shorthanded. Goligoski shoveled it across. Letang able to finesse it ahead. Carried back out again by Crosby. Moves up with Comrie on one side, Malkin on the other. Cannot go through the defense. 40 seconds left. Drilled back as far as center. Through a lot of traffic, it's Letang. Carried right back by Letang. Took a shoulder, kept working. Scaled it around, and it careens back to Crosby. Crosby in the last 27 trying to tie it up. Bouncer hacked at the front of the net, but booted back out by the defensive Covert. Trying to work on further, they cannot. Half boards taken by Crosby, 16 to go. Laid it onto the back, it's Malkin there. Then Crosby, then Malkin. Who will shoot? That one is a shot that ricocheted off Bobrovsky. Played on by Crosby. Back to Malkin, 5 seconds left. Someone will need to pull the trigger. It's a Flyer named Richards. It skitters back down, and the Flyers have the 2 points on the night, opening Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh with a victory over the Penguins 3-2. Gonagowski and Kennedy, but Briere, Betts, and Giroux. Philadelphia 3, Pittsburgh 2. Back to Hockey Central with Bill Patrick.
Ready, set, go.
Oh, what a goal!
NHL hockey is back.
What a beautiful goal!
2010 NHL Face-Off is presented by Visa, official card of the NHL and fans of the game.
Tool